Good morning. We are going to be laying down some static grass. That is it's going to glow a little bit. That's all right. That's the base we're going to be putting it on. We're going to do a test first. Before we do that, we're going to say good morning to my friend Ken. What's going on, Ken? Hope you had an enjoyable Saturday. I had a lovely Saturday. We're going to do a test first. It's funny when you go through like this scraps bin. This is basically my little evergreen styrene scrap bin, and you go through this thing, and there's a lot in here. It's good to pull stuff out of here every now and then. I think this is part of the waste section of the Spartan from a long while back. It was a nice day. Nice. Joe, good morning. Nick, good day. How did it go yesterday, Nick? How's your back? How's your butt? Frozen? We are going to Hey, Peter. Hey, you're back in Denmark, huh? For some reason, I thought your flight would have taken much longer, but I guess not. Entirely too long to hunt down parts to replace the ones that came with the radio. That didn't work. Lovely. So were you going back and forth between that and a shop, trying to find that stuff? Drop that down a little bit. Trying to find the parts. Same thing we do every morning, Joe. Try and take over the world. Yeah. Wasn't enough traveling for you? No, actually, I didn't realize it. It's because you were on yesterday morning, which would make it 24 hours. So I'm like, is he going to be on this morning? And personally, since I'm not flying, Peter, you could be on there for 36 and it wouldn't bother me personally. I'm just saying. Wouldn't bother me one bit. You're such an ass. Hey, Tony, good morning. How are you? Hello. There we go. Right there. Let's see. Another mid-flight that I checked. Amazing free Wi-Fi. Well, I remember that, but I don't know. You could have been 5 minutes into your flight. You could have been 6 hours into your flight. I don't know. Don't take it out on me. I'm the good guy here always. Yeah, a few different stores. Got this swap done in about 45 minutes after I flushed the system. So 3 hours. There's 5 more. 5 more hunt. Oh my God. Hold it a second. 3 hours to do the work. 5 hours to hunt down parts. Oh boy, Nick. I arrived home 2 hours ago. Wow. Doing meh. Oh no. Sick dog and lots of parent stuff going on. Uh-oh. Everything all right with your folks? Is this dad related or is your mom okay? I need to clone myself 6 times to be able to go. No. Oh God. Tony, and I know that yeah, I'm glad that you're taking the lighter side of it, but I'm sorry. 8:30 to 5. It's like a work day, Nick. Yuck. Have appointments every day this coming week. Wow. I hate when prep takes longer than the actual project. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. We are going to do this morning. We are doing a test, and it'll only be a test. Excuse me. Use that piece right there. George the good guy? I thought he was the comic relief. To quote from our very famous president, everything that's good comes from me. Everything that's bad comes from others. I'm paraphrasing here, by the way. I'm always the good guy. That's what the villain says it every day. I know. I'm the good guy here. Right. Let's see. Has a colonoscopy Tuesday. Also has poop issues today and tomorrow. Getting cleaned out with all this. Yeah. Tony, refresh my memory. How old is your father again? Shampoo brush. With the fittings and said I could sand the radiator back to swap for a swap or store or send the radiator back for a swap or store credit. How about fuck you? It doesn't work. So Nick, what are you gonna do? Good for you getting it done, Nick. Accomplishment feels nice. Yeah, okay, enough shit talk. Everyone else is doing well. Glad to hear it. I'm crewman number 6. That is 82. Mom is 81. As long as there's nothing leaking this way, it will feel good. Yeah. My about 5 weeks ago, 6 weeks ago, before we had any real snow, I'm like, I remember coming out to our driveway and looking down, and my car was the only one in the driveway. I'm like, what the hell is all this? And it's like this, oily stain on the driveway with a hint of green. I'm like, that looks like radiator fluid. But I checked my car, I checked everybody else's, didn't seem to be a problem. A few days later, my daughter starts saying, hey, my heating started to not work in her car. I'm like, all right, you should probably get that taken care of because we're getting into the snow season. This is like, again, sometime in December. She finally gets a check engine light coming on, brings it in, and her radiator had failed. She's also getting she had holes in her radiator and in her oil tank, both of which needed to be replaced. That was not fun. But we're not going to do that. We took that into a mechanic. Just oil cooling fittings. So I bought new ones. Yeah. Well, there's also one other thing you can do, Nick. You can also give that company like mixed review. I think he was doing okay. The blood work came back okay, but the GI doctor wants, to make sure he is not bleeding. So absolutely. I'm going to plow through some of these things, and then I'm going to get started on this. There was nothing like this morning. Yep. Got plumbing issues on top of it. I'm trying to F my life for this week to come. Oh, shit. Plumbing issues? Like, what kind? The raccoon give you a hand with a radiator? He probably like sat there and ate and observed. Heater core probably leaking. Oh, man. That usually is not fun. And I believe that's one of the things that we had, basically a cracked inner lining, which meant that the furnace needed to be replaced. Ugh. Well, at least a radiator is easier to get out than a heater core. Yep. Just like a good buddy. Stands with a drink beer when they go to hell. My battery died dead yesterday on the car. Oh yeah, not a surprise, Joe, given the temperatures. Did you get it all swapped out? Bathroom sink won't drain and kitchen sink is backing up. Oh, fuck me. Boy. Yeah, you got plumbing issues, man. I'm sorry to hear that, Tony. I wish you could help the plumbing. Yeah. All right. We made milk. All right. Let's put this out of the way. Now, I've not done this before, so we're going to see how it goes. So the kit came with a variety of different types of static grass, including white. Hey, Joe, my car. My new car battery died over the winter last year, and I changed it up, and the cold knocked it back down again this year. The car does sit there. Expected, yeah. You got an occlusion, better call them drain boys. Thanks, Joe. We'll call over tomorrow. No weekend expenses. So it's like triple on a weekend for anyone. Yeah. That's static snow. Yeah. We're going to try to figure that one out. All right. We don't want yellowy. Question is, I'm thinking I'm going to be doing more of this deep green, but then again, I got this slightly lighter green too. And I got a lighter green still. I think I'm going to go with this. Kind of like this one too, for more like a folly color. It's got like a little bit of green and yellow in it. But I'm envisioning this happening sort of in the late spring, early summer. So stuff will be a little bit more viable. Heroin too, nice. Bolivian marching powder. Again, you come up with some interesting conclusions. No, this Acapulco Gold, guys. Get your minds out of the gutter. All right. So I'm assuming we're going to be putting some of this in here. I read the instructions. We're going to figure this one out, right? I now have a caterpillar. You can actually see it's like clinging to the wire. Interesting. Let's brush some more glue on. Okay. Attach the electrode. Okay. Hey, Kevin, good morning. El Chapo is going to come for his stash, George. Exactly. You get your mind out of the ghetto. We live in the gutter. Exactly. It's up. It's everywhere. It's like savoir faire. It's everywhere. So. This stuff is short. I want to see if there's a longer grass. I don't think these are longer. I think they're all the same. Again, I could go out and buy. Different lengths. I just don't care right now. But this worked. So the only thing I'm going to have to do now is, again, just probably put down a lot more of it than I thought. Now looking at that color, see, now this color is on a white background. Like I said, last night, I stained the base brown. Now we're going to brush the concoction on here. And we're going to do this all over again. Well, that was anticlimactic. Sometimes everything isn't like I could zap myself if you'd like, Nick. Got a fan for life. Got a shoot. I live in one big dumpster. Dumpster fire. I call it genius heating. Nice. Good morning, everyone. Hey, Mike. Good morning. How are you? Please give us a show. Please give us a show. Okay, fine. We're gonna now do the base. Okay, you're gonna get something real. This was just a test to see how it worked, and so far, it's so good. It's pretty light. But man, Nick, what am I gonna do with you? Okay. And I can be a ditch digger. You can. Got to bounce. Brain is mush. I need to sleep. Alrighty, Peter. Get some rest, brother. And I'm glad I made it home safely. And yeah, we'll catch up tomorrow, okay? Let's remember something. And George is old. I love you, Peter. something. And George is old. I like it. All right. Let's load this fucker up. There we go. All right, that's ready to go. Just gonna get some more glue in here. I am well. It's been a week. Glad it's over and new one begins. Yep. I hear you on that one, Mike. Okay. I've got plenty of material in here, but I just want to thicken this up just a smidge. Just a smidge. No shade of green is there. I could. Yeah. May not be a bad idea, Nick. Mix them all up a little bit. Let's close this one up. What I'll probably need to do also then is get another container. I think I got a container here somewhere. I just put the concoction in there. Yeah, I think we'll do. Yeah, I think we'll do a little bit more. Oh, let's take a look. Definitely not. Yeah, we're gonna go with this one. Yep, gotta go with this one. Darker green still. Ooh, geez, don't do that. I pushed the button. That'd be bad. And then, oh, good. Oh, George, we have found a new streaming service with hard-to-find niche movies. I think it's called Eternal Family and something. May subscribe this week so far. I'll share a lot of weird movies. Yeah, let me know about that. That sounds interesting. I will say this right now, Ken, I appreciate the offer. Given the little that I've been watching in terms of movies, I may try to get some movie watching done today. I appreciate it. Boy, I got to get back to movie watching. It's been too long. Okay, there we go. It has been way too long. Couple more weeks with Hobby Town, then the old comes new. Turn 4 hobbies, toys, and games. Nice. So you're done with the mic, huh? Good for you. Mike, I remember when we've talked about that in the past, logistically, there were going to be some issues with that. It sounds like you guys have worked through all that. How the results, are they shocking? Not yet. There we go. Nice little mix. Okay. Let's get some glue down. You have to be 50, just touch. Oh, yeah. No, I don't want 50-50, but I definitely, the first batch, I think, just didn't make much of a difference. So that's why I added a little bit more. Let's see. No, he didn't shock himself, but he did offer to shock himself. You mean, yeah. You guys really want to see me get zapped, don't you? What the fuck is wrong with you? We're just watching everything. Catherine O'Hara movies, A Mighty Wind. Oh, yeah. And her early stuff on Second. So they got Second City stuff on there. Yeah. Yeah. Her passing was a bit of a surprise. What was she, 71? Fuck, she was young. She was great on Schitt's Creek. I got to tell you. I mean, obviously Beetlejuice and a couple of other things. I do plan on, actually this weekend, I do plan on watching one of the Christopher Guest movies. I'm thinking it might be either like A Mighty Wind or Best in Show or something like that. I think I need sort of that subversive type of comedy. Well, for the most part, my concern is the website. If someone says Robintown and Clinton, it's going to say we are closed. Why? Who owns the domain name? It's like a rite of passage. I mean, we want. Her passing really got to my wife. She really loved her. Oh yeah, she was just a wonderful actress to watch. Is it me or are some of our best comedians from Canada? I mean, I'm not kidding. Okay, let's do this. Yeah, Second City really. That whole Canadian group, all those people are just like some of the funniest people. Okay, there we go. I did not clear coat this piece. That's why some of it's getting absorbed, but there we go. Okay, we're ready to go now. Okay. Anyway, Nick, I'm sorry to hear that it kind of impacted her. It's like a rite of passage. She looks just like my mom. Really? Okay. Here we go. I can't tell. Actually, keep it connected here for a second. Let's see what it looks like when we're all done here. I need a container for that stuff. Zap, zap. Groundlings Canadian or Chicago? I believe a lot of them, Second City was a Chicago, but I think a lot of them came down. No, they were originally from Canada. Owns a website. Not sure about the domain. Let's see if we own to you. Is that a Dyson hairdryer? It's kind of like, only not. All right, let's get a container to put this stuff in. Let's see. Be right back. Okay, there we go. Sit that in for a second. Do some cleanup work. Looks pretty good. We'll get the figure on here in a little bit. We're just going to let this thing dry, and then we'll take care of that. Find a home for this. Put that right there. Yes, you can see the all. And Dyson hair flocker. Yeah, small space and wires everywhere. Yeah, probably a good time to restock those paper towels. Yeah, good. All good. Let's see. Hoping word of mouth. Big mouth will help spread the word. Nice. I think he's using that. Light the end. You light the end with grass in it? Is that grass? Your head. Nice. The wrong person from along. Very nice. Joe could have taken an actor. I see one. Yeah, that's the one I'm referring. I don't remember who was. I haven't seen Home. I've seen Home Alone, the first one, and I haven't seen the second one in forever and a day. Oh, hold it a second. Happened in NYC. Now I think I know what you're talking about. Got it. Got it. Let's see. Not my hair. Mine hasn't been that long in almost 40 years. Okay. I might vacuum this up later on. At least we got all this done. There we go. It's like a big pipe when you hold it just right. It looks like a big pipe when you hold it just right. Okay. Yeah, it's all set. Rasta Flocker 9000. Nice home loan 2 has that guy. That guy. Yeah, I know what you're talking about now. Oh, my wife made a picture for you guys. I will text it to you, Gio. Okay. Can't wait to see that. Richie, happy Sunday, brother. Good morning. How are you? All right. So, with that done, I will be working on the big bass. That's the bass I'll be working on, as opposed to this is just temporary, so I can bring it down to ODO. I'll be bringing this model down to the ODO show. I was approached by a new digital diecast magazine to do a modeling corner segment for the subscription. It will be a quarterly release. Nice, Mike. Congratulations. Just woke up. Yeah, me too. You think I've been awake all this time? Come on. In fact, I way overslept. I snoozed my alarm till just past 5:30, which is very rare. Will you be doing it? I'm assuming the answer is yes. Okay. Now I gotta somehow. I think we're just gonna have to hit this thing up with glue. $3:30 for some reason, then went back to sleep. Good for you. Were you planning on going to work or something like that? What time? Because isn't that like about the time? What time do you normally get up for work, Richie? Didn't step on the grass. Mike, sorry, Nick. The only reason why I'm doing this is just to give it a base instead of just like a piece of wood. That's the only reason. Any plans for a litter box? No, but I'll talk about it because I've been thinking it's going to expand beyond what I originally planned for. See how that goes. 445, yeah. Some details for the moment. First issue is out in June. Good. Any plans on a little box? No, you definitely need one for authenticity. Actually, I'll tell you what we got going on, and I think it'll change a little bit when you hear it. Send you that picture, Gio. Thank you, Joe. I'll check that in a bit. I know you're just being that grumpy old man, grumpy. Get off my lawn. Okay. Okay. There we go. Again, this base is temporary. It will be a more permanent base once we get to the other one. And we'll talk about what the plans are for it in just a second. All right, I'm going to leave this out because it's possible I might need to glue some more of the bottom. Flavor of Cheetos. The bag is open. Nice. Nice, Joe. I look forward to seeing that. Okay. Look at that. I got that done in my first hour. For my second hour, we're going to get back to the mitts. And we're going to pop the batteries out of this thing. Putting that stuff away. All right. So the thought is on the base. Actually, let me take this thing off. Don't need this on anymore. A rocking bull. Here is something you will enjoy. Exactly. Rocky and Bullwinkle. I'm going to have to revisit that show at some point. Okay. You know, if there's no progress, you get pissed. And if there's progress, you get pissed. Nick, can I possibly appease you in any way? Can I possibly? All right, so on here. What we're going to have is the model's going to be on one side, like the over here. So this guy here will be sitting here, not straight on, but maybe at a little bit of an angle. And the doghouse will sort of be at this angle. So you can see what's going on. If I can find small enough cats on four legs, about the same size, what I'll do is I'll have 3 or 4 little kitties kind of like right behind the other cat, behind the cat P25, just to kind of like, they're kind of using him as like their defense. Cowering dog. I will likely put some kind of a picket fence back here. Hey, Robert, good morning. Absolutely not. I'll probably put some kind of a picket fence around there. I might in the grass do like torn up tufts a little bit, like the dog is has been kind of digging up, and who knows, maybe I'll even put poop on there. Probably a couple of, like a bowl for water and for food. So they will get flushed out. And I might do some other stuff on there too, as the idea strikes me. It's like, I don't want this thing to just be these 2 things on here. I do think that there has to be a little bit more. I think the fence would look kind of nice. To me, it makes an animal kit pack. What scale, Joe? That's the only concern I have with it. It's like, to what scale? But if they do, that's great. I mean, trying to find 1/20th scale cats, which is approximately what this is it's a little difficult. So this anyway, so that's what we're going to probably end up doing is just kind of giving it a little bit more stuff around here. And then it'll probably end up going in, I don't know, it'll probably end up going into the vignette category. This will get entered into, if they have a machining category, machining Krieger category, that's what it's going to get entered into an ODO. And then it'll be a vignette when it's all done. Yeah, 1/35th. Unfortunately, yeah, like I said, this is 1/20th scale, so they'd be a little too small for this application. But thank you for bringing that to my attention because yes, that is something I am looking for now. Likely going to be like an AliExpress type of thing. We were at Michael's, my daughter and I, when I found this, looking for some. They had dogs, I think, or a dog. They don't tell you what scale, but anyway. All right, so let's put all this stuff away. Okay. Move this over to the sink. You see my cats, we have variety. Yeah. Yeah, that's just it. I'm going to try to get a variety of kitties to go with it. Found some 124 scale cats on Amazon. Yeah, perfect. And again, 124 is close enough. I could probably make something happen with that. Let's see. What did Tony say? Oh, shit. Sorry, guys. Give me a second here. Live chat. So I had a Robert. Not seeing anything else. Yeah. Okay. Making sure I didn't miss anything. So I stained that piece of wood last night. Gave it that darker look to it. Oh, God. That smell is just, it's just so permeating. All right, there we go. Throw this piece out. So there's my little test template. Get that 6 pounds and one that's almost 20. Not fat, just big. Yeah. We got one of our cats, Ruby, who's also the same way, Nick. I call her girthy girl. That girl, you pick her up and it's like there's no fat on her. She's muscle. It's my daughter's my older daughter's cat, Zoe's cat. All right. So let's get back to the plane. The plane. All right. The interior of this thing. Good. Asher call fat ass all the time. Fat ass. Poor cat. All right, so now we have to work on, as we said, we have to work on a few things interior. We've got to work on the dash. Bring that up significantly. He's double the size of the rest of them. Yeah. Ooh, mercy. Anyway, so yesterday we went down to Quinnipiac to watch the women's basketball game, which was, first of all, it was a really good game. Though Merrimack was, they played against, I'm not sure if it's Merrimack University or Merrimack College. They played a tough game, but were smoked by the QU women. And I'm not saying out of malice, because they played a tough game. It felt like it should have been a lot closer. But QU prevailed. My daughter performed twice, so obviously a good thing to see. And then after that performance, we went down there. We met her after the game. Then we went out to dinner. Had like this fabulous Indian restaurant in Hamden, Connecticut. It's called Indian Hot Table, I think is what it is. And it's everything we've ever eaten there has always been fabulous. And we got a whole variety of different tastes. He weighs 22 pounds and not fat. Also have a raccoon, I would put it. 15 pounds-ish, eats cat food. So same thing. Yep. So after that, we did a little shopping. We went back to my daughter's dorm. Her roommate is out of town, so we went up there, just kind of hung out with her. What was great about that was my older daughter and my younger daughter are. I'm going to give you the example that my sister gave, which I thought was great. She says, "Your older daughter Zoe, she's like a Northern California girl. You know, kind of envision what somebody from Berkeley would be. Very opinionated, very politically motivated, domesticated trash panda. Yep, that's what it is. The photo was pretty cool. Very much that earthy, crunchy, more in terms of just, not having a lot of corporate shit in her life. My younger daughter, Mia, is more like a Southern California girl. She's a lot more entertainment based, more glitzy and glammy, more out there, more of a, like I said, more of an athletic type of a person. She's just got that, like I said, exudes more of that Southern California vibe. And yesterday, when we got back, for like an hour, my two girls were just like, and it hasn't happened in a while. They were talking back and forth, and I'm just sitting back and just loving every minute of it. I'm going to remember that the rest of my life. That was one of the best things that's happened in a long time. Just watching my two girls just relating like that and talking. I'm not going to be around to see them when they're in their 50s or my age, right? When they're kind of their own people and doing that kind of stuff, and hopefully hanging out. As I said to my both of them, I said, the only thing I care for is that you guys maintain your friendship and your as much as I hate the term, but it's kind of appropriate, their blood bond. I hope that they remember that they're sisters and that they're different, which I appreciate, because I don't want cookie cutter kids. I don't want each of them to all be the same. But I hope that they always maintain that friendship, that relationship, that when one needs something, the other one will be there for them. This gave me a move out timeline, so it looks like I will have extra room in the house after August. Oh, really? So you're, does that mean that you're going to be literally an empty nester? Cool. I gotta tell you, given the economy today, I hope my older daughter has that ability. It's going to be tough. Anyway, it was a glorious thing to just watch them talking. I just sat back. And listened. Yes, well, I mean, there is the two cats and the dog to keep me company. Yeah, but empty nester in terms of kids, not in terms of pets. All right, let's get this done. What did I say? 3mm? Let's just start building some of this up. Could probably build this thing up with putty a lot more easily than doing it with. In fact, I could do that. Oh, that could work well. Hold a second. Stop the press. I think I got a solution here. $8mm, I think is what I said. Yeah, I got another solution. It's going to be a putty-based solution. It's going to actually work much better. Yes, no kids or roommates after August. So it means that I will have a whole room for my build computer office room instead of just one side. Yeah. Boone and Bane, though, right, Tony? Yay, I got room to do the stuff I want. It's going to be, and I know like the day that my children fully move out of here or move out and have their own lives, every older generation that sees the younger generation move out of their house, I'm sure, is both elated and at the same time saddened. Other room for my built kits. Ooh, even better. Boone and Bane. Yeah, but sad at the same time. Yeah, exactly. It is honestly that's exactly how I feel. And my daughter feels the same way. It's like I keep telling her, look, I want you out, but I don't want you out in such a way that, I mean, I need you to be in a place where you can be out. I'm not gonna and I'll never kick you out. You'll always have the ability to come back here. Always, always, always. Wonder how I will be when my oldest is off to college this fall. Yeah, it's a change. And this is what I was saying a while ago, Ken, when I was not having my younger daughter at home, is weird. You know, I kind of envisioned that my older daughter was going to be moving back until she got on her own. She landed on her own 2 feet. Trying to find a career. Yeah, there we go. It's getting closer to where I need it to be. In fact, you know what? Fuck it. That will do. Right there. Glue it into place, cut it loose. And then we're going to stuff it with putty. Same thing with my kids. They're always welcome back. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And my concern has always been, as my I won't go into the details of it, as my younger daughter is now starting to think about possibly moving to Houston, Maryland. We talked a little bit about California. It's the answer is, I hope it's selfish, and I know that it's selfish. I hope my kids never move so far away that either we can't drive or they can't drive back. They're always welcome to come back. How were all of you when you had kids? Ancient. Oh yeah. Yeah, she's actually looking at I won't go into the details right now, but she's looking at Houston and Austin as possibilities. I was 34 and then 37. Yeah, I was 2002 30 38 37 when Zoe was born, and 42 when Mia was born. Everywhere is expensive though. Oh yeah. Yeah. Richie, this is not, I'm sure that somebody here will be like, stop talking politics. This is not a politics conversation. This is a moral problem. I think anybody 50 years and older should be ashamed of themselves. And that includes myself. We let this country get to the point where it is that our kids can't afford to have the lives that we had. My life, I know, is tougher than my parents. Because they could buy a house with just one income, and it wasn't a massive income. We're at 2 incomes, and we got to struggle to get through some things. How are they going to get through? I could see her in Austin, big art town. Oh yeah, no, she would. Austin is certainly a place, and UT Austin is down there, so we'll see. My oldest I had when I was 23, then 27, 29. Wow. Yeah. Hopefully not Texas for the legal profession. No, she's going to be a nurse. Trust me, it scares me for her to move to places like Texas, South Carolina, North Carolina, Florida, any place like that. But it is her life, and she needs to find where she wants to be. But yeah, I think Austin would be great. Though it's funny, my wife, she's like, I don't like Austin, which is like the funniest thing. She's like, I don't know. It just doesn't have the same vibe as like Houston. And I'll be the first one. I love Houston. And Nick and I have talked about this now. I love Houston. It's scary because I don't like big cities. Like up here, I hate big cities. But Houston, love Houston. It's horrible how we let this happen, George. Yeah, and it is. And I blame our generation. We are the selfish generation, and we let this happen. I'm not, and again, for a whole host of different reasons, I'm not going to go into the details, not the time to have this conversation, but I really do think our generation and the older generations, particularly those in their 60s, 70s, and 80s, you fucked us. And I also mean that in that, like, and I'm sort of in that same place. I think our generation fucked us. I remember because growing up in the 80s, it's like, what was it? They were the selfish generation in so many ways, the Wall Street, greed is good type of thing. Yeah. Well, as long as I'm taken care of, everything is fine. Great fucking attitude. So anyway, Austin sucks. Says a Houston boy. The only thing that sucks even more, Dallas. Yeah, it's horrible how we let this happen, George. Yeah, I agree, and it is, and I blame myself. I've apologized to my kids. I'm like, I am so sorry that this is what that our generation has, and older ones have left for you. They're all nice and comfortable. They're buying their retirement homes in Florida, and our kids aren't going to have that unless you're wicked fucking rich, and that ain't going to happen. Yeah, for sure. But my situation is different where my parents would be on the street if it wasn't for me. Yeah. And Richie, again, I'm talking about in generalities. If you take a look at I'm talking about if you take a look at statistics, that's what you're going to see. But yes, Richie, I'm sure your parents are thankful and you're thankful that you're able to do that with your parents. Probably never going to be able to have kids and we'll never see grandkids. Robert, is that something you do want? Do you want kids and grandkids? She got a traveling nurse job after school. She would rake in the dough. Absolutely. That's and Ken, funny enough, I'll talk about that in a second. Austin Nick. Nah, it's the antithesis of Houston. The fuck everyone. I got mine. Yeah, Jens. Yeah, exactly. And I gotta tell you, it is so blatantly obvious. And then when that generation just says, well, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, go fuck yourself. What you want to? Okay, guys, I'm going to give you I'm going to get a little bit on a deal. You know why I'm angry about a lot of this? Because the only time I ever saw my dad cry was in the 1979, 1980 when he was a manager at a restaurant, and he was again up until that time doing okay. He was promoting inside of a company. He was a manager of a chain restaurant, and they pulled their bonuses, and then in 6 months, basically shut down operations. And my dad was like, "We're fucked." And I remember seeing that. And if you think about the early 1980s, where a lot of us were growing up, the number of people who were through, and again, you can call it politics if you want. I don't give a fuck. The amount of Reaganomics that went through that closed down factories, shut down unions, and basically brought down wages for the average American, that created a problem. And you saw your parents getting laid off. You saw your everybody. And now these kids are like, well, this is the fucking world, and we're not happy with it. The older generations are like, that just means you don't want to work. And the answer is no, we don't mind working, but give me something to work for and not slave wages. Anyway, that might as well be part of Oklahoma. Yeah. The show and the location, the fuck everyone got mine. So again, guys, I'm not looking to get on I'm sure, like I said, it's going to piss people off and I don't give a fuck, but that is this is my observation. And if you take a look at the economics of the situation, that's what you're going to see. The only way I will ever be rich is if some superstar woman falls head over heels with me and lets me spend her billions. Hey, Tony, I'm not sure if you can see this pin. These are this is a pin I've had since the 1990s. This is the Keys to Success pin. More true now than ever. I would like to, but I'm also not going to drop my relationships and rejoin the dating scene in the eventual beginning. My GF has health issues, though, and while she is younger, I'm pretty old now. Robert, you do not look old. Man, I wish I looked like, what are you, like 30? Rich, as if I changed my name to Richard. Our biggest problem today is the throwaway and replace mentality. It's our fault for letting the new generation accept that. I think that's certainly part of it. But I also think that the older generation just was sold a bill of goods and they bought it. The older generation owns it. Both the rich and the poor own the problem. You bought into the mentality that, yeah, trickle down economics is going to work, and it doesn't. Every time people ask for a bone, they get accused of asking for a handout. Exactly. People stealing all the profits for themselves instead of, yep, gotta be able to afford the dollar for the ticket. George. Very true, Tony. Turning 42. No way. You learn the answer to life, the universe, and everything. Yeah. Wow. Hopefully. All right. So we got the piece glued in. I'm going to trim the bottom part off, and then we're going to fill that entire upper deck there with putty. Epoxy, to be correct. Dating in NYC sucks. I like being 40 and single. Only types that are left are single moms and damaged goods. I don't know about that, Richie. And there ain't nothing wrong with either. Sometimes damaged goods is because they've been with the wrong people. And if they find the right people, that damage becomes repaired. And single moms, great. That means they've kind of like have a little bit of good life experience. I personally think those are both good options. Personally speaking. Now, at the same time, I'm not moving on. I'm kind of happy where I am. Let's see. I always tell people at George, I say if I'm a millionaire, but I just haven't had the dollar to buy the winning ticket. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Let's get one of these bad layers in here. There we go. Let's sand this down. I'm just sanding the dashboard part down. There we go. I'm going to put this in here now. Great. Yep. Yikes. Yep. Perfectly good. I may have to do some surgery on the pilot's foot. We'll see. So which are you, single mother or damaged goods? Both. In this crime society today, night crawlers we can't win the lottery with buying the ticket. Yep. Not in this day and age. Oh, well. Looking like a vet visit on Monday, too, if I can get the dog in. Oh, no. Hey, Tony, I'm sorry. You might have said it at the beginning. What's up with your doggo? Okay. Let's fill. And I think I said this before, but I think after we're done filling this thing, I think we're done with this box. I've actually killed a box of epoxy. Wow. Yeah. save any of this now. I mean, I got a lot of this stuff left, but next to none of this stuff. So just, trying to, I mean, you got to get close to 50-50. I think I'm close to 50-50. She's had diarrhea since Friday evening and now is thrown. Oh, my. Otherwise, she acts normal. So I hope it's just a food problem. Yeah. Jesus, man. Yeah. But she's acting normal. She's not like acting lethargic or anything like that. There we go. Toss that out. Still active, chasing the cat and getting into everything like yeah. Something bad in her food. Hey, Tony, can I ask? Not that I have a dog, but I'm kind of curious. What do you feed your dog? I'm kind of curious. I don't know why, but I am curious. All right, we're gonna toss this out. Get this going. More than I'm gonna need for this, but that's okay. I love Nick and his dog food. Well, that's good because you could be trying to feed him a tree or I don't know, a chimpanzee or rutabaga or something, which probably wouldn't be good. Thank you, Nick. I appreciate that. Boiled chicken with mixed veggies and a half cup of lamb kibble. Interesting. Wow, boiled chicken with mixed. You make the food yourself, or at least some of it? Wow, damn, I'm impressed. Those are all options as well. Okay. Yes, I cook her food except for the Purina. Yeah. My sister does that too. Really? Interesting. Our cat gets, well, I guess there's a little bit of grass flocking in here. Thought I got it all cleaned up, but I guess not. Well, yeah, there's some glue there. There's some that stuff that was glued down. Well, that's kind of cool, I guess. Husky, her diet is important, really. And owning a husky requires that you gotta provide them with literally hand prepared food. Wow, that's impressive. This is I will just go out on a limb and say it. As much as I think dogs are cool, they're not as cool as cats. One, but also it's just like the maintenance required for a dog is just beyond me. It's the meat scraps when we yeah. She also gets a drizzle of raw honey over it for a healthier coat. Really? Really? Raw honey? Oh, that's kind of interesting. The stuff you learn, never knew that. Yeah, not a dog owner. But that's kind of cool. Boy, that flocking is everywhere. Yeah, I mean, so one of our cats, Percy, our black cat, she is very much into like people food. She will, without a doubt, like if we're sitting at the dinner table, she will come to us and sit next to us on. We got one of the seats is a bench seat. She'll sit next to whoever's there and just like look across the table. It's like, okay, what am I getting? I usually feed her like if I get like some extra chicken or whatever, I'll toss a couple of bits to her. I'm not completely heartless. So guys, let's see what we got going on here. Oh, it's when they are young, they need the nutrients from the vitamin and proteins that are in the chosen foods. Yeah, this is my sixth husky. Yeah, yeah. I guess you know what you're talking about. Not that I would question it at all, but yep. Sixth husky. Just a fraction more. In fact, let's get another brush. Okay, there we go. So that dash has now been puttied up, and that gives me a little bit more surface to be able to. Um, in theory, there's supposed to be a gun sight that goes on there. I'm not sure if the prototype had it or not. So recalls on pet food lately. I feel safer for making my own for her. Yeah, but Tony, you mentioned that you do use like a dry food as well. Do you use like a kibble? You said a kibble. Is it like Purina or something like that? Small baggie. I'll be using some of these too when we get to full the full base. Ice cream and dog chow, lamb and rice formula. Yep. Thought I had a little bag. It's a big baggie. That might do. A little bit larger, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go freeze this real quickly. Seems to be one of has been recalled a bunch of times lately. Yeah, yeah. It's funny when we were looking to try to find something that was a little bit less expensive than Science. We use Hill Science Diet for our cats, dry food. When I was trying to find something less expensive, it's like you start looking at places that, yeah, exactly, Tony. You start looking, it's like, oh, that sounds like a good one. Ooh, they've had a few recalls. Yeah, that's not happening. All right, I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna toss this in the freezer. Okay. That didn't take long. And what we're going to also do is there is a bar. There's a bar that's not on here that it's literally when you open the canopy pops up like this. Now, granted, it's going to be close, but when a canopy pops up, there's an arm that you bring up to support it. And I saw that in the instructions of the, I'll show you, in the instruction manual for the 148 scale version of this. Nice show. We did that brand for my parents' dog before she passed last year. It's pretty decent food, but it seems to have a pandemic of hysteria all the time with food products. Really? Tony, thank you for bringing that up. I was on a prescription food, and right after she got put on it, full-time nationwide pet insurance dropped all her coverage for it, leaving me with no coverage and a pre-existing condition. Yeah. And no other insurance. Well, remember, insurance companies are there for making money. They're not there for your pets. Oh, you got a pet? Fuck you. Don't care. But you can pay us. Just like human insurance. But yeah, Robert, I'm sorry, man. That you hear that and it's like, guys, really, honestly. You basically said, oh, she has a condition. Well, now you have to take shittier coverage at more costs or go without coverage at all. That's just Einstein. It is all the brands. Listeria is getting out of control. Really? Thank you for pointing that out, Tony. I appreciate that. Okay, let's see if we can find the right there. No, really. Yeah. So this is the instruction manual for the 148. This bar here is basically a support bar. That way, when you open the canopy, it flips up, kind of like on hoods. You got that support arm to keep the hood up. It looks to be round. Okay. It'll get glued right on top, right on the edge there, where looks like it's going to get glued right where the where I just puttied up. So I just got to find a wicked thin piece of plastic now, possibly a piece of brass. Let's see. Except I got it through my employer nationwide. He claimed at the time she would be covered for life. So there's a class action now. Nice. How's that going? Do you know how it's going so far, Robert? Human food lately. It seems every other day there is a recall for Listeria. Huh. Huh. I don't know why, but for some crazy reason, the movie Contagion just came to mind. When you fire everyone in the government to regulate things. I've heard nothing for a while now. Yeah. Remember, it's not about you, it's about businesses being successful. As long as companies make profit, you'll get some of it or not. Interesting times. All right. So that bar is pretty thin. How big is that little? I guess in theory we can start putting away all of this stuff. One of the things I like about Evergreen in this regard is, so Evergreen makes sort of these standard sizes. You know, they call it 0.030. Fuck that. Just go to millimeter. 0.75, 1, 2, 2.5, 3. Okay. Except that they also decided wisely to come up with dimensions that are specific to train modelers. So these are some odd duck sizes, like 0.64, which I'm going to take a look to see. I think it's going to be a little too large for this bar, but we'll see. I like that they did something like that. You know, Evergreen makes excellent products. Their tolerances are not all that great, but they make excellent products. And by the way, I was just going through the Kirk collection stuff. I'm going through all of the photo etch, and I just found a bunch of Evergreen in there. Like, ooh, that might stay with me. No, out of scale. Too large. So I'm going to go to the 0.51 brass. Oh, hell, right there. I hate Evergreen sizing. Are you talking about like the Imperial sizing? Oh, no. I look at, like, if reading the IPMS journal, I'm blown away that everybody talks about things in Imperial. Oh, 0.030, 0.020, 0.04. It's like, guys, how do you work getting accurate measurements in that? It just doesn't make sense to me. Metric in a 10 base system just is so much easier. Oh, I've got to cut this at, 7/64. What the fuck is 7/64? Oh, but I got to measure it and I got to add another like third of an inch. I mean, it's like the amount of math you have to do is stupid at that scale. Okay. Hello. Thank you. The human out of the humanity. But it is enough, reminds me of the scene in Time Machine when he ends up in the future to see someone drowning and people not help. Yeah. Ooh, very good. Very interesting movie, right? Humans don't help other humans because they've lost the ability. Yeah, Joe, very interesting point. That's a good reference. Anything off Amazon and you've got fractions, but if you convert whole numbers, clearly it's made in metric. Use metric. Yes. Use metric. Yeah. All right, let's see if I can get to. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do that. I wouldn't mind getting this thing kind of done. I've got to figure out what to. I'm actually going to reposition the joystick, the main joystick. I got to see if I can get it closer to where his hand is, which is literally probably just about, just a little bit in front of his belly. And the joystick right now, if this is sort of where his belly is, the joystick is like, I don't know, in scale about a foot away. It's like, now I got to do something with that. So I might rip that out and make another one. We shall see. We shall see. But first things first, I'm going to lift this up so I can get to the brass below. Knocking shit over like left, right, and center. Okay. Well, something's moved, but I'll fix that afterward. He laughs at the girl. When all he had to do was reach out his hand, then and the traveler saves her. Yeah. Well, and that's kind of like the existence that we're living now, in some ways, Joe, right? 100%. Okay. 0.5 brass. Let's take a quick peek at this. I may need to put a little, yeah, that's a lot better. I may need to put a little piece of support there. The thing I want to do is just take a look and see where the canopy secures. All right. This version, new one is to relax on the ideals. Oh yeah, the new one sucked. Let's be honest, the new one sucked. But the original one is such a classic, such a classic. Okay, total length. 6 millimeter. Thankfully, no plans for the day. A little bit of cleaning around the house, laundry, but not much more. So I'm hopefully going to get some cleaning work done, watch a movie. I might come down here and do some stuff. Again, I'm going to try to, before I take off today, I'm going to see if I can get if I get the joystick where I need it to be, I might even prep this guy and get him ready for painting. The interior is just about done. Oh shit. The only thing I need to cut the photo etch piece to put on top of the canopy. And in fact, it actually goes through the canopy and into the bulkhead. Fall for anything. Yep. Okay. Put the brass away. Everybody's being quiet. It's like you expect me to do a song and dance routine. I'm here to amuse you. Is that it? I'm here to amuse you. Sorry, I was feeding the dog. Unacceptable. Now, you got at least a good reason, Tony. See what the rest of the chuckleheads have to say for themselves. All right. Hello. There it is. Hello. Exactly. Slow progress. Fell asleep. Nice. She gets rice and chicken again today. Nice. Good for her. It happens. Not on my watch. There we go. Pretty clean. One done. I fell into an Etsy hole. Nice. And Etsy is a big hole. If you had a time machine, what would you change? Nothing. Change? No. Visit? Yes. Changing anything creates consequences. That's the whole thing. There's nothing to change. I'll go back to 94 and save Tupac and Biggie and Princess Diana. I'd sabotage a specific escalator. Oh, man. Oh. Change nothing. Many years ago, I've talked about it before. I read Harry Turtledove, who does this absolutely fabulous alternate history type of stuff. He wrote 2 books, one book, and then finally in one series on what if the South won. The first book, Guns of the South, is really, really good. The second book has a world where the South won, and then what happens with the schism between the United States and the Confederate States. And in light of post-Civil War, there's a second Civil War. And then what happens during World War I and World War II. And they're not good. You know, what ifs? What if Kennedy didn't get killed? What if 9/11 didn't happen? What if, take your pick of any of this stuff, What if we could prove that there was a Jesus or there isn't a Jesus? What would all that, all that stuff? No. So if I had a time machine, I'd be an observer. I'd go to see the 1939 concert, the Benny Goodman Orchestra playing live at Carnegie Hall, I think is where it was. That would be something. Seeing the Duke Ellington Band at Newport, 1956. I own 1 Bitcoin, Nick. Save Harami. These are all senseless losses of life. Hey, Tom, good morning. Nah, I don't think you can. I couldn't change anything. Any change you think might be positive may end up being negative, because you can't answer all of the what happens immediately. Remember, it's like a tree root, right? Or a tree. At some point, you're out on this branch. I'm going to come back to this point. But now you're starting to grow into a completely different branch. Where does that branch go? You might know the immediate, but you don't know what the long-term ramifications of it are. So, yes. I hope time travel never becomes a reality. As humans, we couldn't even handle that technology. Okay, there we go. A little more off the top. There we are. I'd still take the risk. I would not. No. There would be further consequences. The thing about it is, it's like you don't know what those are, but there will be bigger ones. I'll go back to see how shows like Harry Houdini. Exactly. Stuff like that. Absolutely. Fruit stripe gum never went off the market. Wasn't it carcinogenic? I mean, if it does become a reality in the future, it would explain the present. Well, time is subjective anyways. We have lived it because we are part of the timeline, quantum mechanics. Yeah, I kind of accept the whole, what was it, the movie The Arrival? That whole concept that time is already there. I mean, it's just that what we see, we just see, or we move forward through time because this is what we see, but it's already there. Because you are in the wonders of the world in a different time. Time travel, no. Time observance is going to be welcome to watching 1945. I would definitely go see dinosaurs. Yep. Time is an illusion. Lunchtime. Doubly so. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I would go observe. But I would not want to change anything. You can't. No. Consequences. I mean, we'd like to think what if Hitler didn't come about, right? Well, yeah, okay, that'd be great in many ways, but what other ramification would have come from it? What would have happened with Russia? So, all right, that's done. There's supposed to be a little doodad on the end of it. I don't think I'm going to put the doodad on because it's way too small in scale. So I think at this point, I believe I got to get the instructions for this thing again. I believe the construction of the cockpit is now done. Painting instructions, not going to help. Photos of the wrong model. Is a Gundam time traveling unicorn. Yep. One of those Nokia brick phones behind when I left the dinos. Nice. Improved time travel is
possible by adding different time zones for countries.
Maybe. One can certainly look at it that way. All right. My list of paint colors. Where's my instruction manual? Oh, where can it be? In here.
Let's see. Time travels differently just by altitude change and the difference of gravity. Nick, look at you, you physicist, you quantum mechanics kind of guy. Yeah, time travel is still being scienced. May it never happen. Humans do not have the capacity to be able to handle that kind of technology. We can't handle things like cell phones. We can't handle things like social media. And you want to give people the power of time travel? Yeah, bad. We will be able to look backwards, follows along with Einstein's observance of time at a distance and the lens theory. May it never come about. In fact, if time travel were ever developed, I would join an organization to sabotage it. Cleaning? Also, time is just a design of man. Nothing else knows time. Exactly. We just froze light in time. We do, but we are not responsible enough to have nice things. Yeah. Tony, I'm a complete agreeer of that. Our technology is moving at a pace beyond our human ability to be able to process it. Our inability now to separate from this inability as a society is clearly indicative of that. Okay. What the fuck is that? Oh, no, there is a lever there. Cool. Where's the photo etch stuff? There is a sheet of photo etch for this model. Right there. As well as, I've seen these before. This is just basically a sheet of the cockpit panel, which goes it's kind of interesting. I can't tell. I can't tell if the photo etch goes over. It must. So there is a lever I've got to add. There are seat belts here, and then there's that. Then there's the strut that comes, the antenna. Sorry, the radio antenna that comes through. So here's the thing: the radio antenna, real quickly. Not that it matters. The radio antenna gets mounted right on the surface there. However, from what I've seen, it goes through the canopy and into the dash. I don't see how that could be. We shall see. We shall see. I might not do that. We are not responsible enough to have nice things. Now you're talking time cop. Yes. I'll go back and see what it was like before the Big Bang. That would be cool. See, again, if you had reasonable people, and I'm coming from the assumption that we are unreasonable enough that we cannot handle the technology, then yes, we should be able to go back and see whatever.
see the Titanic sinking, see, get some firsthand stuff that happened in around Chernobyl, or take your pick, and any human history. Like I said, go back and see Christ nailed on a cross. And if that didn't happen, wow. But we can't handle the ability to do that, because somebody's going to want to do something that'll change something. They say that DARPA has tech that is 20 years advanced in the current at all times. I'm sure they say that. Excuse me. I will be what design time travel and will be inevitable fall of mankind as a species. You can't go back in time before time. I agree, Nick. AI. T2. Say Bigfoot's mom. I will take my pre-time machine and leave my time machine parked in the garage. Ken, the Big Bang is just a repeating loop. We'll just see the end of time at the beginning. Yep. I think you're probably right. The universe expands and collapses and expands and collapses. Nature, though, will want to change things. Human nature always wants to change things, because humans have this ability, or this innate stupidity in them, that we are the masters of everything. And the answer is nope. What is it that they said about, one of the issues that we're having here, and again, not a political conversation, but one of the concerns with America in a world view is that Americans have this belief in manifest destiny, that everything we've done has been for the good and great, and everything has been perfect right up until this point and beyond. And the answer is nope. Humans don't have manifest destiny. All right, let's see if I can do. It's interesting that they give you a little bit of photo etch sheet. I wish they gave you photo etch machine guns. Oh, I haven't put on the pitot tube. Oh, fuck a duck. I gotta come up with a pitot tube for this thing. That may be one of the last things I do before I paint the whole model. Human nature wanted to change things. Oh, how about time travel and Interstellar? I haven't seen Interstellar yet, so I can't really say, Tom. I'm sorry. That's more folding the fabric of space than time travel. If there were a way to time travel, but not be able to interact with the environment you travel in the way you could change events, then that would be okay. I think as a way of observing, yes. I think changing or being able to interact, bad. Bad. Okay. We're going to leave that there. We're going to put this back in here so it doesn't get all bunged up. Leave that there. There's the photo etch. I wonder if I want to mask this first. There's a little bubble in the photo etch. In the canopy. Interesting. Ooh, that's going to be fun. I may try cutting that with parafilm. We'll see. Bring dinosaur egg back and making the real Jurassic Park. Yeah, bad idea. Good lo-fi movie for time. Lo-fi movie about time travel. Primer. I've never seen Primer.
What was it? Ken, have you seen Predestination? That is a mind-bending time travel film. Not that we would be in a constant destroyed state because billions of people would change things, and there would be no way to stabilize the world. Yet, what could possibly go wrong? What could go wrong? Come on, it's all good. What could go wrong? These are you? Oh, this is gonna be fun. I think these water slides aren't on film, or it hasn't been. Yeah, they're not on film. I think you have to cut them out. Maybe either that, or I got to tell you, if that's not the case, these water slides are like super fucking thin. No, they got film. Tiny border. Okay. I haven't, but just wrote it down. Thank you. Yeah, it's Ethan Hawke film. Came out of nowhere. I don't think it went very far, dude. I will tell you, it is mind bending. Science-Gate, good anime on time travel. I learned it from a microwave and a banana. Okay. Sounds kind of weird. Just create the dinosaurs and just 100 scale. What movie? Predestination. Let's see. Did I miss anything? What could go wrong? I love that. What could go wrong? Time travel. Time travel. Bringing back dinosaurs. What could go wrong? I think the answer is everything. Sorry. Who's Heller part? Ugh, there's a Heller version of this model? Fuck me. Mount a bulletproof transparent shield in front of the pilot. Oh, that's what that is. Oh, so that might not be a sight. We'll have to figure that one out. Time's it. Be on for another 10 minutes, then we're going to call it a day, guys. God is us from the future, like turn back. Fun fact, a banana is not really a banana. It is a genetically made fruit that resembles all the traits of a banana that went extinct. Really? Never heard that before. Where'd you read that? They will never be able to make it to the mainland. Exactly. Large plantain. Instant coffee in the microwave. I went back in time. I understand. God, one of us saw. Yeah, but it's come from the same plant and are just clones. No kidding. The butternut squash was invented in 1940. Really? Afterwards, I read it on a smart person page. On a smart person page? The fuck is that? All right. Joystick. That's what we're going to work on. The mofo joystick. Let's drop the pilot in. Got to bring. I think we're going to cut his feet off. I know, I'm sorry. You heard me say that, but I think we're going to cut his feet off.
I mean, that did feel blasphemous. I'm not going to lie. That felt blasphemous. I don't think I'm done yet. Now I'm going to start seeing if. Okay. Yeah, that's good. I think we are going to make our own joystick and just it's good. I don't care if it's out of scale or not, but it has to get done just to get this thing anywhere close to where it needs to be. There we go. Written by someone smarter than me, so a smart person page. That is also true again. Wow, this is a plastic model show. No, it isn't. So when you see organic on your banana or butternut squash, they are lying to you. So don't pay extra for them. Just buy the non-organic ones. Yeah. We engineered this. It's bioengineered food, but it's organic bioengineered food. Oh, it was extinct, but it was definitely genetically modified for us to eat. No shit. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Not gonna lie, that is kind of cool. All right, let's get the calipers. One mil. That's very easy to do. And what's at the top here? 1.15. I think we're gonna do the same thing we did earlier. We're just gonna use CA. 1 mil. Crossbreeding in the 1600s, genetic manipulation. Yes, but with a little less. I don't know. Yeah, it is, but crossbreeding is I don't know. It just strikes me as a little different from some of the stuff we're doing now at the genetic level or at the DNA level. It'd be good though. Major breakthroughs in cancer cures use gene deletion and replacement. But what about in food, Ken? What do you think about bioengineered food? I'm curious. The original banana went extinct from a fungal infection that wiped them out. It's called Panama disease. It happened in the 90s. Yeah, I remember that, Tony, because I think when we were about to have the same problem with bananas, that they were about to go extinct again, they were talking about that in news reports. Crazy shit. All the time, I'm genetically engineered for her. Aw, Joe. You're such a smooth talker. I'm gonna go smaller. Okay. I'm gonna go to 0.75, which is still larger than the 0.51 that I did earlier.
Because bananas have seeds, and we share a lot of DNA with a banana. It's crazy. I know, that's so cool. We are bananas, aren't we? Literally, figuratively. The original banana is only commercially extinct. Yeah. Good morning, Emma. How are you? Happy Sunday to you. I'm hoping you're having a fun start to your day. What are you doing? Okay. 0.75, 0.8. Hi, Emma. Still some left, but enough have a profit margin if harvested. I don't know enough of science on food stuff, but most of our food has been modified to produce the biggest fruit flour. I'm the cheesiest and way thick, thicker than Velveeta. Nice. Someone tells me I'm free, I should take it as a compliment. Right. Yes, you should. Okay. All right. Look at fruit and vegetables for long ago. They barely resemble the foods we see today. How do you do that? Since long ago, like how long ago? No reasons why we are not a healthy society. Our food is tainted. Well, that is true. Yes. But how do we fix that, Tony? How do you fix that level of food production when your population has increased? And I'm trust me, I'm not saying that like like I'm one of these guys who believes we should continue down that path. I'm just trying to figure it out. 0.8. I'm going in at an angle too to try see if I can get this thing put in at an angle so that it's more more akin to in his lap, you know, like ooh shit. Wires came loose. Let's do that again. Wire came a little looser. I didn't want that to happen. There we go. Sorry, one of these wires is still a little loose. Guys, give me a moment. I'll be right there. Just got to clean out some of this plastic. Let's see. Ooh, boy, there's a few things. We're not society. Our food is tainted. Watermelon is one. That is scientifically modified. That's modified by crossbreeding. Interesting. This is all useless knowledge that has finally being of some use. No, it's not useless knowledge at all, Tony. What are you talking about? We start genetically modifying humans for blue eyes or a big mustache. Muscles, therein lies an issue. Yep. Weird stuff with and genetic engineering. From what I understand, crossbreeding just takes too long. Has made it illegal for genetic modification of humans. May it always be so. Star Trek, Wrath of Khan come to mind. Sorry, just had to throw that one out. Japan has a damn square watermelon for Pete's sake. Really? Square? It's kind of cool. People wanting to make food more exciting than it needs to be, which is why IVF is somewhat illegal. Interesting. There's a difference between making food exciting and being able to produce enough food for your population. And that's why it's like, that's the conundrum. If we're having to genetically modify food in order to be able to produce enough food for our people, one thing. If we're doing it because why not a good reason. And I'm not advocating it, by the way. I'm just stating. Okay. I think we've now gotten enough of a hole. Always thought the genetically engineer food, taking the good plants and discarding weak plants is engineering. Yep. Because if they didn't make it illegal, we have even more Asian males. IVF is illegal. Females would come close to extinction due to social preferences. Yeah, fair enough, Tom. Good point. Interesting, yeah. Because you can do gender selection. So broccoli, carrots, and potatoes are all engineered foods and unnatural. Potatoes? Potatoes like my favorite food. Next to pasta. Now you're gonna tell me pasta's genetically engineered. My friend did that here in the States. Really? Okay. Let's jam this thing in here for a second. Yeah, see, this is the interesting thing about. So the interesting thing about Evergreen, their tolerances are not right. This is 0.75. I just made a 0.8 hole. It should fit in tightly, but it should fit in. Well, according to this, it should still fit because the drill bit is dead nuts right. Used to make the pasta. Okay, thanks for ruining my day. That's what the flour and eggs used to make it. I hate you all. I'm kidding, by the way. Okay. I also love my pasta. Oh, yeah. My doctor who keeps telling me, you got to cut back on breads. I'm like, good luck with that. You want me to cut back on red meat? No problem. You want me to cut back on a bunch of things? Sweets, candy, stuff like that? Yeah, bread. Ooh, anything bread related? Ooh, that's a tough one. Okay. All right. I think that will do. We're going to cut a long piece, relatively long piece. Let's get the pilot in place. Hello. Go. Especially have a great day. Keep your ice on the stick on ice. Joe, take it easy, brother. Have a great rest of your Sunday. We'll see you tomorrow morning. So they should have labels that's scientifically genetically modified or it's crossbred. Well, they do have some of that, Tom, because they do. Most of it does say this product contains bioengineered food or something to that effect. In fact, it is something that I've been monitoring a little bit more in the stuff that I'm purchasing. Now, the crossbreeding thing, that I can't answer. Identify healthier foods, yeah. Is crossbreeding by its very nature wrong? I don't know. If you're doing it at the genetic level, that's bioengineering. If you're just taking I don't know, finding some other ways of like cutting a seed, cutting two apple seeds, putting them together and seeing what happens, that's a different thing, in my opinion, in my humble estimation. Come on. There we go. Okay. That'll do. I'm going to trim back this top here. I am going to get rid of this. All right, we're going to do the same thing we did yesterday. We are going to dip this into CA, and we might do a few layers of it. We'll see. We are very close to getting paint on this. I'm very happy about that. That means I actually have to paint. Ow. Crossbreeding occurs naturally also later. Crossbreeding before 95 is in bioengineered, though, as science wasn't there for that. Yep. Pollinators are nature's genetic modifiers. Yep. Those are mating with one or the other, like how they make. Papa Doodles. I have no. Don't. Guten Morgen. Hey, Charles. What's going on, brother? Good morning. How are you? How'd you guys fare with the weather, dude? And how's the family? Tired but making it. Well, I'm happy to hear that at least. Hey, Charles. I guess Nick must have fallen asleep. Somebody wake up, Nick. Only seen 2 things labeled non-bioengineered. You've only seen 2 things? Really? It's like at work, so I lived there for 4. Are you serious? For 4 days? Hold it. You lived there for 4 days? It was next to each other for cross-pollination, then grow just seeds from the pepper the next year, then add new pepper to the change that I want with the less pepper. Interesting. Yeah, I see more organic, non-organic. That could actually be pretty good. It's way out of scale, but what I can do is once it dries, I can sand it down. I like that. Way out of scale. Yeah, ice was that bad. People were ending up in ditches everywhere because of that. They stupid. Yeah. Take that one. He shall arrive. What up, Beans? I'm in here, Chuck. I think he's here, but I think he was a little asleep. He's been known to do that. All right. There we go. All right. So we got a pretty sizable glob on there. That's, like I said, way out of scale. But what I'll do is I'm going to let it dry. I might actually dip it again and then sand it down. So at this point, I think we're kind of done. That's all I can do on the plane today. George is hollering for you. Yeah, I get busy this late in the morning and have to give my attention to other things. And I care why. Just kidding. Roads are mostly clear though, so I'm good now. Nice. So, Charles, is this the first day you'll be able to go home? Am I hearing this correctly? How dare you prioritize other things? I know. Can you believe it? Makes me sad too. All right. So with that, wow, Jesus, man, this has been a long session. I didn't expect to go this long, but things are done. Once that dashboard is kind of finalized, meaning get that top part sanded, put the little piece of metal in there. Where did I put it? Right there. Once we do all that, I think we're all set. The pilot can be painted, so I may actually start the painting process on this. I'm going to try this week evenings to actually hit the paint booth. We'll see how it goes. That was last weekend. Okay. All right. All right, guys. Yep. Time for me to get rolling here. Anyway, stay safe and stay sane. Thanks everybody for being on today. I do appreciate it. So got a lot accomplished this morning. Got some of the static RAS stuff going. We got the cockpit now. I'd say 98% done. So we can start paint on that. We can start paint on the figure. And the Mach-E kit at least has the ability to be displayed. So I'm happy about that. So with that, yeah, I think we're in a good place. And boys, have a great day. You too. Charles, yeah, you too, brother. Take it easy. Later, Nick. So, guys, go out there and do good. Brighten the world as much as you can. You know the mantra. It's bad. I mean, the insensitivity to other people, their needs, is unbelievable. So instead of us being part of the problem where where we vilify and do all that stuff, let's do what we do here every morning. Show kindness, love, and respect. Go out there, do good. Show the world that we are a good group of people, that we want to help others, not vilify them, and do good. That's it. All right, guys, I'll be back on tomorrow morning, same time, same channel. Enjoy. Love you all. Catch you on the flip. Peace.